Hello sir and everyone. So today I'm going to do a live code demo of our CS223 game project, which we are coding Tic-Tac-Toe. And this project is done by me, Vattanak, and also Kibriyo. So this game we created by making 4 different Java class files such as main app, game controller, game view, and game model. So for me, I'm going to do a live code demo for only main app and game controller, and the other two here will be done by my other team member, which is Kibriyo. So without further ado, I would like to start now in the main app. So to use JavaFX, we have to import all these header. This line is to initiate the main class, and it also have extend application to tell the JavaFX that this is the entry point. And then we have a override here to let the program know that the method start here will override the superclass method that came before, and also recognize error early on. And in there we have game model equal new game model, which basically initialize the model, and also here the same for view. And this new game controller model view here is to set the controller, which allow model and view to communicate with each other, and also allow for user interaction with the game itself. And then it set the scene that takes in the view, which means it use a UI layout from the view, and also it set the window size. And then it set the title stage, the title for the stage, which is a tic-tac-toe, which means this is going to be the title that's going to be displayed on the window. And then this one, it's going to include the scene into the stage or the window. And then when the stage is called, and it's gonna show here. And this one is basically to launch the window or the JavaFX. So that is it for the main app. Let's move to our game controller. So in the game controller here, first off, we start by initializing the game controller class. And then we take the model and the view from the main app. After that, we initialize a constructor called game controller, which take in model and view. And it passed the model and the view. And in it here is to set a clear boundary between model and view so that there's no error. After that, this one init is initialized as a method that is going to handle the interaction with the player. So here it's going to, it's a for loop, basically to go through 3x3 grid of the tic-tac-toe game. And when it go through each line, it's going to set the value to row and column. And this one is basically to set the interaction with to set the click event from the player. Like when the player click X, it's gonna input as X, and if the player is O, when it clicks, then it's gonna input as O. And it also call out it's also called the handle move. And then this one is to handle the reset event for the button. And moving on, next here we have the handle move method, which take in the row and column. And this one check if the grid is already clicked before, then it's going to return nothing. Basically, if the grid is already taken, it's not going to do anything. And then this one is basically to take in what the player has input, the current status of the player. like whatever they click, it gets it. And this one is to print, this line is to print the X or the O when the player click. And moving on here, this if statement is basically to check if the player win or not. So if they win, if it matches this if statement, then it's going to print X or O, and then they wins. And then disable the board, like the player cannot play anymore. And this one, another if statement, is to check if the game is draw. So if all the grid is taken and each one doesn't match, each one doesn't have a 3 in a row, X 3 in a row or O 3 in a row, there's none, then it's gonna print draw. And this one is to switch turn between the player. And for this line, it's going to print which player turn need to go next. After X is O, and after O is X again, until the player wins or lose or draw. And finally, this method reset game is to set a reset to the button. When the player click that button, it's going to reset everything, including reset the logic, reset the board, and also always reset to X turn first all the time. And that is it for the main app and game controller Java class files.
Hello everyone, in this project we created a Tic-Tac-Toe game using JavaFX. My responsibility in this project was working on the game model, which handles the game logic, and the game view, which is responsible for the user interface in the coding part. I will start with the game model class. The game model is responsible for managing the game state and rules. It stores the tic-tac-toe board using a 3x3 string array, where each cell can contain X or O or be empty. The variable current player keeps track of whose turn it is, starting with the player X. The method placeMark row column checks if a cell is empty before placing the current player's mark. If the cell is already occupied, it returns false, which prevents overwriting moves. After a valid move, the switch turn method changes the turn from X to 0 or O to the X. To determine the winner, the checkWinPlayer method checks all rows, all columns, both diagonals. If any of these contain the same symbol, the method returns true, meaning that player has won. The isDraw method checks whether all cells are filled and no winner exists. Which means the game ends in a draw. Finally, the reset method clears the board and resets the current player back to X, allowing the game to start again. So overall, the game model fully controls the rules, turns, win detection, and draw logic. Game view or user interface. Next is the game view, which handles the visual part of the using JavaFX. The UI consists of a status label that shows whose turn it is or the game result, a 3x3 grid of buttons for the tic-tac-toe board, and a reset button. Each cell in the grid is a JavaFX button stored in a two-dimensional button array. The buttons are styled with a larger fonts and fixed size, so the X and O are clearly visible. The setStatus method updates the text shown at the top, such as X's turn or O's or win. When the game finishes, the disable word method disables all buttons, so no more moves can be made. When the reset button is clicked, the reset board method clears all button text and re-enables them for a new game. The getRoot method returns the layout so it can be displayed in the main application.
I'm going to show you the demo of the game itself. So we start off with here, go to View, go to Tool window, and then go to Maven, which we are using. Go to Plugin, click on this, and go to JavaFX, and click on JavaFX run 2 times. And then it's going to start run. Please wait a moment. It's gonna take a while, a few seconds. Okay, so here is the window now. This is the whole game. You see the title here is Tic-Tac-Toe on the whole window or the stage. So first turn is X. So when we click it, X will appear, and then it's O turn. You see, after we click, after the X player click. So O. So let's play and see who will wins. Okay, see if O get 3 in a row, vertically or horizontally or X cross, they will win. So this time it's O that who wins. So O wins, so nothing happened anymore. The whole thing is disabled, just like we thought. And then we click the reset button in order to play again. So this time let's let X win. Okay, you see X win, and then we reset again, and let's see if it draws or not. Okay, X wins again. Okay, see, if no one get 3 in a row, then it's gonna draw. So yeah, that is all the condition for our game, and this is the end of the live code demo. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your attention.